the middle of nowhere. Just desert, dirt roads, and silence. One night, my cousin and I were driving back from a late shift at work. It was almost 2 a.m., and the street was empty. It was just our headlights cutting through the desert. That's when we saw what looked to be a coyote. It was standing in the middle of the road. It wasn't unusual for coyotes to be out there. Animals cross the street all the time. So I slowed down. But this coyote didn't move. It just stared at us. Its eyes were glowing in the headlights. My cousin said, "Just honk." And so I did. The coyote didn't even flinch. It just kept staring at us. Then it did something I'll never forget. It stood up. Not like an animal on its hind legs, but like a person. Its back legs began to straighten, and its front legs bent. It looked almost like arms. My cousin grabbed my arm and then whispered to me, "Drive." But I couldn't. I was paralyzed in fear. The coyote tilted its head and then smiled. Not a normal animal mouth, but its lips pulled back, like it understood what we were. Then it stepped off the road. But it didn't walk away. It walked alongside the truck on two legs, keeping pace with us. I slammed the gas and the truck jumped forward. There was dust flying behind us. And when I looked in the mirror, it was running, still upright and chasing us. It was fast, just as fast as the truck was. We hit 60 and then 70, and finally the thing disappeared into the darkness. Me and my cousin were silent for 10 minutes. Then my cousin finally said, "That wasn't a coyote." I agreed, because animals don't smile, and they definitely don't run like that. It was a small house on the edge of town, right next to the open desert. I had a German Shepherd named Ranger. He never barked or growled. He was the calmest dog I've ever owned. One night, around midnight, I heard scratching on my bedroom window. It was a light scratching, like claws on glass. I looked up and saw Ranger outside, standing by the window, scratching. I sighed, and he probably needed to go outside. But something felt off. He had never scratched at the windows before, and he always just waited by the door. I got up and walked towards the front of the house. That's when I heard something behind me. A low growl. It was from the hallway. I turned around, and my blood went cold. Ranger was standing behind me, inside the house, growling. I slowly turned back towards the bedroom window, and the scratching had stopped. But something was still there, a shape standing outside, taller than the window frame. Then it crouched down slowly, like it didn't want to be seen. But I had already seen enough. There was long arms, fingers pressed against the glass. My dog started barking like I had never heard before, deep and terrified. The thing outside whispered something soft but clear. "Let me in." It sounded almost like my voice. That's when Ranger charged the door, snarling. The thing outside ran. I heard footsteps, heavy ones, running through the desert. The next morning, I found tracks outside my window. They started as dog prints, but slowly, step after step, they turned into human footprints. Barefoot, walking away into the desert. And camping in Utah, just me and two friends. It's deep in the woods, with no cell service and no nearby campsites. We built a fire and stayed up late talking. Around 1 a.m. we heard something walking in the trees, branches snapping and heavy steps. My friend Mark grabbed a flashlight. Probably a deer, he said. But the walking stopped the second the light turned on. It was total silence. Then we heard a voice from the woods. Hey! It sounded exactly like Mark, but Mark was sitting right next to me. We all froze, and then the voice came again. Hey guys! It's the same voice and the same tone, but it was coming from deep in the forest. Mark whispered, "That's not me." Then something stepped just outside the firelight. A deer, standing between the trees. But something was wrong. Its legs were too long, and its eyes reflected pure white. It just stared at us, not moving. Then its mouth opened when the voice came out again. It was Mark's voice. "Come here." My other friend grabbed the flashlight and shined it directly at the deer. That's when it stood up, its front legs lifted off the ground, its body twisting strangely, like it wasn't meant to stand the way it was standing. Then it ran, not like a deer, but a person sprinting through the woods, branches snapping everywhere. We didn't sleep that night, and then we packed up at sunrise and left. As we drove away, we saw something standing in the trees, watching us. It looked like a man, but its legs bent backwards, like an animal. And when it smiled, its mouth stretched way too wide.